You sense an immense power enshrouding the whole of this floor. The Ivory Order trio lies collapsed at Sherwin's feet. Sherwin glances your way as he notices your presence. You again. What is it you're doing here? You ask him. This is the heart of the mausoleum, where the Order kept the dragon prisoner and harvested dragon tear. The Order perfected a technique to distill medicine from the preternatural magic imbued in dragon tear. So you were right in thinking you could find Mars' cure here. Sherwin pays you no mind, continuing. How I detested that medicine. It took my parents from me. You struggled to conceal your shock that you and Sherwin suffered the same tragedy. Nursing his grudge, he infiltrated the Order so that he could destroy it from the inside out. After being elevated to the Order's highest echelons, he learned that the dragon was the source of the medicine. Ever since, he had been awaiting his chance to kill the dragon. He finally got it atop the volcano. Now all that's left is to destroy this forsaken place, and the realm will be restored to how it was before the medicine, to how it ought to be. Sherwin stands before the altar and begins mumbling an incantation. It looks like he's gearing up to perform some sort of rite. The mausoleum will be destroyed if you don't stop Sherwin, and if that happens, you'll never get your hands on any dragon tear. Prepare yourself. The Ivory Order trio are still alive, but don't have the strength to get up. You attempt to stop Sherwin's rite. But the fallen Ivory Order trio totter to their feet. Master Sherwin, says Winifred, unable to quell her trembling. Why? You used us, growls Berwin, narrowing his eyes at Sherwin. Your actions betray everything the Order stands for, spits Hedwin. Sherwin does not dispute the accusations. On the contrary, he confirms them. Everything I've done, including using you, is to purge this world of that medicine. Sherwin returns his concentration to the rite. Whatever Sherwin is doing, it isn't good. But you just stand there. You race towards Sherwin to stop the rite, but then Winifred blocks your way. Winifred puts out her arm. You're not strong enough to stop him. He's one of the strongest among the Ivory Order's ranks, she says. Still, says Melanie, batting Winifred's hand out of the way, we have to do something. Let us help. Sherwin pivots to face you, snarling. I will crush any who dare stand in my way. Sherwin attacks. It'll take more than numbers to win here. Sherwin bloodied and beaten, lies sprawled across the ground. Give up already, you say? Then, from the folds of his cloak, Sherwin withdraws a vial of dragon tear. So it has come to this, he murmurs, before gulping it down. Sherwin's body begins morphing into something grotesque. You hear a voice echoing in your head. A lifeless world, a deathless world. This fetid plane will be purged so that it gleams pure white once more. I, the Owisiswin, will make sure of it.
bears some of the blame for allowing this to happen. Winifred and the others combine their magic for an all-powerful strike. The brunt of the blow renders the Owisiswin motionless. But in your head echoes a familiar voice. There is no denying me. This world will fall,
as will you. The Owicious Wind stirs, stretching his humongous wings. Their power depleted, Winifred and company retreat from the fore. The Owicious Wind screeches a bloodthirsty shriek as he bears down on you once again. Creatures, be cleansed by my power. The Oishus Wind's power inhibits your actions. The Oishus Wind gathers his immense strength. You have to do something. But the Oishus Wind's power binds you. Struggling against his power, Melanie recalls Vince's final words. Your spell can make this world a better place. Through everything, realization strikes her. The only way out of this is to use forbidden magic. I offer myself, body and soul, as payment. Melanie recites the spell, then turns to you. I'm sorry, she says, her voice faint. You'll have to finish what you started without me. Melanie's powerful magic has bound the Oishus Wind. That same power, though, has also bound her. Her power drained from casting the spell, Melanie collapses to the ground. Her spell breaks the power binding you. You can move freely again and feel your strength return. The spell has bound the Oishus Wind. Now's your chance to end this. Give it all you got. You defeated the Owishiswin. Sherwin, returned to his human form, seems not long for this world. You rush to Melanie's side. The moment you reach her, you notice something strange. Melanie's transformed into a monster. Just then, Winifred and the others return from their search of the area. It seems the emergency stores of dragon tear kept in the altar were all dashed upon the ground during your battle with Sherwin. Despair buckles your knees. You've lost Melanie and any hope of changing Mar back. Winifred slips something into your hand. You hold it up and see the empty vial of dragon tear that Sherwin drank. But if you squint, you can make out one last drop in the bottom. You got a vial of dragon tear from Winifred. The world, cut off from its supply of medicine with the dragon's death. Your twin, for whom you have searched high and low for some way of restoring her human form. And Melanie, transformed into a monster and lying prone before your very eyes. You must decide for which purpose to put the all-powerful dragon tear. As though you were trying to cling to something, you offer up every supplication to the dragon tear. And then... the dragon tear's light overwhelms you. You feel your consciousness start to slip away. Where's that voice coming from? Wake up, screams Ridis, shaking you ungently. Your eyes peel open, and you glance around. You're alive, says Melanie through flowing tears. You let go of a heavy sigh of relief to see she's human again. Bruno says you collapsed after the dragon tears started shining with fierce light, and that you've been unconscious ever since. That's when you realize Mar is nowhere to be seen. You wrap Mar, returned to human, in your firm embrace. Thus your journey drew to its conclusion. As for the story afterward, you return to Advent Castle and make your report of the events to Queen Nilla. She rewards you handsomely for telling her the truth about the dragon, but it's barely enough to cover the cost of repairs to Ridis's home. Bruno returns to the coastal village he calls home, still squabbling with Oreo. The dragon agrees to continue providing dragon tear for the kingdom, so long as he can live the rest of his life in peace and quiet. Queen Nilla denounces the Ivory Order for their cruelty and seizes control of medicinal production. She does all she can to ensure a more ethical manufacturing process. Winifred, Hedwyn, and Berwyn leave the Ivory Order, establishing a new organization to help the needy. And what of you, Mar and Melanie? Queen Nilla asks you to serve in her court, but that's not really something the three of you are cut out for. You decline to set off, and to this day, the incessant bickering of the bounty-hunting twins and the Black Witch can be heard in various far-flung corners the world over. This is a story of long, long ago and long, long from now.